Hello and welcome to the Masterton final here at Goldenacre between RHC and Heriot. It was two fairly one-sided semi-finals. RHC chased down 130 against Edinburgh South in 14 overs, and Heriot chased down Strumel's 112 also in 14 overs. News from the toss is RHC have won the toss and selected to bat first with Liam Naylor and Jonah Van Zyl opening up. I welcome back into the commentary box with me, Mr. Craig Alberton. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Kalik. Really looking forward to this final. It's definitely going to be one where it's going to be probably very heatedly contested. A couple of Scotland boys on show as well. So there's going to be some interesting matchups ahead of us.
Looking forward to what hopefully will be a high-scoring game. Looks like Mark Watt opening up the bowling for Heriot with Jonah Van Zyl and Liam Naylor opening up.
Again, I think the power play is going to be quite important here for RHC. I think if they can get themselves away with not too much damage in the wickets column, they're going to be able to probably post about that 170, 180 mark, which we think is going to be par here, especially with the batting repertoire Heriots have at their disposal.
Starting off with a long on and cow corner to Jono. Thoughts on winning the toss and batting first?
I think it's a good decision. It's probably what I would have done if I was in their position. I think the wicket is getting a little slower with the heat today. Probably take a bit more spin later as well. I think with a couple of the spinners RHC have might be more conducive to them. But also in T20 finals, runs on the board are always important, and you can just use that scoreboard as an extra fielder if you need to. Use that to build some pressure. But yeah, I think looking back from the last final, I think we probably looked at batting first as RHC in 2025 and probably going ahead and doing what Heriot's did and putting a total on the board and then trying to defend it.
Mark Watt around the wicket. Played well. One down to long on. I'd agree with you. I think it's imperative that these two get a good stand. They had a good start. Liam Naylor out for fairly cheap, but these two get a good stand going. Could be very high scoring. And with the way the RHC spinners bowled in the last semi-final on this wicket, could be quite tough.
I agree. And there's lots of spin here for Heriot's as well. So no doubt they'll be trying to use those conditions to the best of their ability, make it as difficult for the RHC batters. Slight change in field here.
Deep cover and deep square leg for Liam Naylor. Quicker into bowl, and as we saw again, they're carrying on with their trend of quick singles, backing up done by Joe Kinghorn Gray. Both these guys ran very well last time round, and I'm assuming to see more of the same in this innings.
Yeah, that's some of the consistencies you'll get out of these two. It's good hard running. Very much the same from the other RHC batters, always good between the wickets.
Hot shot there from Mark Watt and sort of bottom edges it onto his footers pads, does Jono.
I think John has missed out a bit there. That's definitely a ball you want to be scoring against someone like Mark Watt, who won't give you too many.
Bit more flight and similar result to the first ball, just very well played one down to long on.
Body start here from Mark Watt.
It's sort of what you've gotten to expect with Heriot's opening up with a seamer, either Mark Watt unavailable or Josh Elliott as he did in the other semi-final. That one just getting a bit of purchase off the deck.
A lot of experience in this Heriot's team. Probably understanding what matchups are going to be best for them against some of these more aggressive RHC batters.
Just finding the outside edge there. Ball travels down, fielding down by Innes Parkin, goes all the way for 4.
Good finish there for RHC off that over. Sneaky boundary.
7 off the first. Gregor Aitchison to bowl from the far end. Product of Randy Peets out in Sydney. Just as you can see on your replay here. Mark got wide the crease there, a little bit of turn, catches the outside edge, dabs it down, 4 runs. Gregor Aitchison, product of Ranwick Petersham out in Sydney. Scottish qualified, both his parents are from Edinburgh. I think they both met at George Heriot School as well. So he's been here the last few years plying his trade. This is his first sort of season as a sort of mainstay in the ones after Heriot's losing out on Adrian Neil and Charlie Castle to Australia, and he's had an extremely good start to the first half of the season.
Yeah, it's great. It's nice to see young guns coming through, getting an opportunity to test their skills at the Premier League level.
John Manziel advancing down the crease, just a bit of a swipe, nothing really much on it, bit of extra bounce. Geiger, 32 wickets this season, an average of 18, so he's done very, very well for a seamer especially. Still playing for Scotland under-19s as well.
Yeah, he's definitely someone that's grown into this opening bowling role since last year. Played a lot of twos cricket, I believe. Had a great opportunity now this year with a couple of the seamers moving on. And young, a lot of skill. It's definitely someone that you can look at in a couple of years' time to go be pushing for a national team bowler.
Slower ball there by Gregor. Yeah, I was, especially with the start he was taking 2 or 3 wickets a game in the Prem start of the season, so I was surprised he didn't get a call up the regional stuff with the young names about there. But I think it was probably good for him, keep him grounded, and just teach him to keep plugging away at his trade. And keep learning from the experience that he has around him. Beautiful shot.
Well placed there from Jonathan Zale.
Just waited on it, guided it down through backward point region.
But even with the deep point out there, he was still able to find the space and get that away for 4.
Once it beats the infield, it's going to go for 4. That ball again. I'd be expecting Jono to, I think, come down a bit again and try and put Gregor off his length a little bit. There he goes, come down the wicket, flicks it off his hip through mid-wicket, 4 runs.
Excellent call there, Kalik.
I've seen Jono bat too much in the games and in nets.
Yeah, he uses his feet quite a lot. Very keen to come down and take the attacking option to the bowler. Very interesting to know that he's the kind of player that wants to be on the front foot all the time, looking for that boundary option regularly. And he's, especially in T20 cricket, it's really come in and tried to express himself a lot more this season.
Point comes in to a conventional point, and you've got Cow and deep square as your 2 outs, so potentially short ball or short-ish. Slower ball gone to reverse sweep, and it goes through Joe Kinghorn Gray at short third. goes for 4.
And there's that reverse option that he has. I didn't see it at all in the first game. But again, when that option's provided to him, he's very happy to get it out and use it. And more often than not, he finds the boundary with it.
You can see it on your replay now. Gets in a really good position front on and then has the great hands to go through it. I'm not sure that would have been a catch. I think it dropped just in front of Joe there. Change of bowling from the pavilion end. Josh Elliott into bowl. Has had a bit more of a role as an off spinner this season. Didn't really bowl too much, or definitely not as much as he has this season for Heriot Swans. Him and Ryan Brown providing good partnership, and 2 very different off spinners as well. Ryan Brown with his height and bounciness, Josh with a bit more guile and spin and dip.
Yeah, I think with the slightly less bowling options this season compared to last year, there's been a lot more opportunities for some of the more, what would have been fringe bowlers last year to get more overs.
Yeah.
And to be fair, they've not let the team down at all this season so far.
No, they've all stood up to the challenge. 2 out, deep square, long on. There's that shot to Cow. Just the one. And they'd be hoping for a repeat of how Liam got out in the first game, where he hit it pretty much straight to long on under not that much pressure. But he's a better than that to get out the same way in 2 consecutive games.
Yeah, I think it's just making sure he understands what his clear options are. Very good player through the offside, especially if he's going to play against spin. He needs to start focusing a little bit more on hitting through those strong options through the offside that he has.
Just rocking on the back foot there, Jono, hitting at 2 point. Gregor Richardson does fielding. 2 out for Van Zyl, long on, and almost like a deep mid wicket. Blazed through covers, just rocks back. Times it to perfection. 4 runs, Van Zyl.
Yeah, not a very good ball there. Lost his length and gave a great opportunity for Jono to dispatch it away to the boundary. Again, all 3 overs so far not really being closed out too well by the Heriot's bowlers.
Jono taking along nicely. 18 off 11 so far. 2 to come for Josh Elliott. Would really want to close this over with minimal damage. Good dot. Slight change of field. Mid wicket goes into square leg. Just over the jumping Durness at short cover, extra cover almost, and goes for 4. Jono really taking the attack to Heriot's bowlers here. 22 off 13.
That one not as short as the previous one he's hit to the boundary. He's done really well to get underneath that.
Quite full, actually.
Yeah, just rocked back, allowed himself an opportunity to get under the ball. Just did enough to clear the fielder to cover.
Gregor Aitchison to carry on.
With the amount of spin they've got in this bowling lineup today, it'll be interesting to see how they work them around.
I'm assuming they're probably waiting for matchups that they know to bring on James Dickinson, to bring on Ryan Brown, and hoping Josh and Gregor can get one breakthrough here to open up then those matchups between the back ball. One down to their man.
Nails at the moment, happy just to work it around, give Jono the strike.
Crossy looks like he's coming to stand up to Gregor, just negate the advancing Jono. Probably the right call.
Yeah, just keeps him in the crease a bit. Might give him something else to think about. Maybe force the error there.
One down to point. Gonna stay up to Nails? Probably. Looks like it. He's asking the question. Standing back. Rossi, of course, very used to standing up, usually to Brandon McMullen in national colours. Slower ball there by Gregor. He's got that one where he sort of just digs it deep into his hand, so it comes out a touch slower than you would expect.
Probably not a bad option to Liam at this stage in the power play. Liam is looking to go hard at mostly anything full. Holding some pace back's probably not a bad option against him early on.
James Dickinson having a word, of course, very knows the RHC players well, considering he once captained the squad. Good friends with a lot of them, knows sort of their weaknesses, where to bowl to them.
At the moment, Heriot's keeping Layla quite quiet.
Tidy comeback here from Gregor, 12 off the first, only 2 off the second so far.
Going to be important close here.
And even if you keep Naylor quiet, Jono's going to go on the other end, so... At least it's one firing and not both firing from a Heriot's point of view.
I think they've just got the areas better to Liam. Better plans, I think.
Slightly fuller there. That was the one Nails was waiting for, and he takes full control of that. Says, yes, please, thank you very much. Sails far over the boundary for 6 runs.
Magnificent shot there from Liam. Again, right into his area. It's not where you want to be bowling it to him. He'll take that every day of the week.
I think that one's probably pace on.
Yes, definitely you can see a bit of pace. More pace on that one. I think if you're going to get it that length, you can't be bowling it seam up pace on.
Change of field. Cow goes back, so you got deep square and cow corner. Full shot, and he carves that through point and cover. 4 runs.
Fortunately, didn't happen to close the over well enough. Using his areas there in the last 2 balls. And Liam Naylor was not going to let that slide.
11.64. You can see there, Mark Watt 7 off his over, Greg Erickson 12 off his over, Josh Elliott just a 9.
Seems to be the case if you look at the first 4 overs. Most of the boundaries have been coming in those last 2 or 3 balls. Tidy first 3 and then just seem to be losing a little bit towards those last 2 balls.
Still, even if you get one of these 2 out, McMullen still to come from their stag. Side Aziz can hit a long ball. Dishan as well, as he saw in the other semi-final. Very comfortable at the crease. Good signs though for RHC so far, building a very good partnership. 10 per over so far, pretty much the run rate.
They'd be very happy with this start.
Josh Elliott to continue. Slightly straying down leg there. John Van Zyl tucks it into sort of a backward square leg for 1. For Liam Naylor, they got a long on in cow, change from square. was what they had before. They had long on and square leg, but now middle wicket moves to square leg on the ring. The 2 men out, long on. Protecting that boundary in that sort of slog sweep area. Goes for it.
Digs out a Yorker there. Still hits it fairly well to make it down to long on.
Liam just picking up the pace a bit. His 6 and 4 in the previous over definitely helped.
Quicker there from Josh Heriot. Pushing John onto the back foot.
As he goes again. Quick back to his mark. Quicker again.
Wonderful shot from Jono van Zyl.
That is unbelievable.
I don't know if Jono is trying to outdo Brandon McMullen here from the last game. He played the most reverse sweeps in an innings.
He gets very square on. You see a lot of batters get almost side on, like they're almost kind of lefty. What's the sort of benefit to both, or is one better than the other?
I think it's just preference. Preference on where you're wanting to play it, how your bat swing is. I don't think for me, it's not necessarily one way is better than the other. I think it's just how does it suit the way you swing and where you're trying to hit it. So, I think for Jono, whenever I've seen him play it, he sort of just squares himself up and goes, well, gives him really good access to the ball that he can actually hit it, whether it's on the stumps or just outside the stumps.
Bit more round arm there from Josh Elliott. Close out the over with a dot. Lines again for him.
Again, balls 5 or 6, heading off to the boundary. Jono doing really well here, 31 off 18. Liam Naylor 18 off 12. Just going at a shade under 10s.
Ryan Brown into ball now. He has been mega for Heriot for many years with bat and ball. 29 wickets so far this season for him. He's their go-to wicket taker when a wicket is needed.
Yeah, a bit of a good golden arm, isn't he? Very high release point, really difficult to get away. If he hits the right areas, gets that extra bit of bounce. A little bit sharper through the air as well compared to most off spinners.
Just manages to somehow find wickets when Heriot's the one, so I honestly would not be surprised gets one in this over or set.
You're a betting man, Khalik. Might have to take you on that. Interesting to see. John might not go to the reverse in this over with the man out there.
Sort of guides it to deep score line. Another slip at the far end. That's 50 up for RHC, 5.1 overs. Going very, very comfortably so far. Slight tail off, but nothing to be worried about. Same field, long on cow for the offie against Naylor. Comes down the track. Beautiful shot over mid-off.
It's a bit more into Nail's strength there, sitting it really well down the ground. Definitely his preferred area.
Would it be worth, as an offie, almost coming around the wicket and like a dart onto the pads almost? To sort of stop him playing over and through cover and straight almost?
It probably wouldn't be a bad option, especially for someone like a Ryan Brown, but I think he's quite happy that Liam's run down at him. I don't think that's too much of a problem for him.
Stopped at cover by Goldenacre champion.
Again, I think just slightly too full to Liam here.
Just beats Greg Eriksen a point, sort of slashes at one there. Makes his way past the fielder for 4 runs. Just gave himself a little bit of room there, step back a touch.
Again, just way too full in length, allowing Liam to swing the bat through with a lot of speed. Liam's looking for those fuller length balls. That's where he really capitalizes on his scoring options. False start.
Just reminding Jono, stay in your crease. Oh, that was the one. Drop catch, Ryan Brown. Half chance, hit very hard straight back at him. Liam Naylor goes immediately back to reset himself. Ryan Brown knows that's big missed opportunity, and I would have won another bet.
Just couldn't get those large hands around the ball there.
Very big hands, yeah. I mean, if he couldn't, no one could.
Unfortunately, again, just trying to look for that fuller length and missing it completely. I think they've gone with the wrong tactics here to Liam. Even with the spinners, when going full of a length to him is not the option. It's just allowing him to access what his main strength is, which is putting the hands right through the ball when it's full.
Again, just stepping back a bit to give himself that room through offside, through cover point region, which he's done so well. Vinmert's gone back to a strike bowler and most experienced bowler, Mark Watt here, to try buy a wicket.
So a fantastic start here from RHC. 62 after 6. I think as much as Heriot's probably haven't got it quite right with the ball, RHC have been absolutely emphatic with putting those bad balls away.
Slightly changing the field now. Power play stance, so they've gone deep square, cow, long on, and almost like a deep backward point for that reverse sweep almost. A touch short of there. They want to go for two, but Josh is quick. Just settle for one.
Let's see if Mopwood can find a better length to Liam Naylor here. Liam's over the last over or so has been able to catch up to Jono. 30 off 17 now.
Just making sure the field is exactly how they want it. Sort of like a back four for Naylor.
Much better length there from Mark Watt.
Again, just looking very easy for the RHC batters. Not had to risk much to get the runs that they've got so far. It's playing in their hand.
I think they're quite content just to work the ball around off Mark Watt. Quite happy to see him through going at probably 5, 6 and over. Look to make sure they capitalize on the other bowlers.
Just wanting point to take a few steps in, does Mark Watt. A touch shorter there, and you can see why. Again, the last two balls of the over. Can they finish off strong? That's been wayward so far this innings. Bowlers.
Another slip there from Liam. Obviously, the footholes are getting quite dry there and sandy, making it difficult to set off the mark.
Probably prevented a two there, I reckon. That slip. Jono was pretty quick out the blocks.
Doesn't surprise me if it's just a push into the space again.
A cut into the space. Five off the over. RHC 67 for 7 after 7.
Definitely going to be the battle of the batting orders today. Obviously, I think looking at both orders are quite strong in the top 4 or 5. It's so important that when someone does get that opportunity to get in and get through to about the 17th, 18th over, that both Lloyd Brown and McMullen go on and get 60 odd in the respective games. At the moment here, it's Naylor and Van Zyl doing the job.
Lloyd Brown fresh off 57, and of course, as we saw on stream, McMullen off 70 odd. It's a bit more flight bubbled.
Again, slightly slower in the air, a bit harder to get off the surface. Similar to what we saw with the spinners in the first game.
Bit more flight again, and that is huge.
That's into the ground shed.
A little bit of flight. Jono says, yes, please, helps himself to it.
Again, Ryan Brown, I think, just being too full, allowing the batters to put their hands through the ball.
Wakes it to cow corner, just a 1 bounce. 1. Needs to do something different here, the Heriot's bowlers. It's been a lot of the same. Coming around, there we go. Something different. Clears his front leg. Taken.
Much better length there as well. Didn't make it as easy to put the hands through it.
I'll take my money, thank you very much, Craig. That was the second over. He bagged himself a wicket. Got Lloyd Brown there, doing very well at long on, and as we spoke about, coming around the wicket seemed to be the sort of play there for the offie against Naylor.
Things continue this week, Lee. Might have to have an empty bank account. It's 2 calls in the first game from you. Call already in the second game.
Sky Sports, hit me up. I'm available all summer. Brandon McMullen coming into bat, fresh off 70. Excellent platform built by Van Zyl and Naylor. 74 for 1 off 7.5, going just under 10 and over.
I think if there's a man you want to be coming in at this stage to continue the momentum, I think McMullen's your man. Incredible innings in that first game to get them through to the final. Really attacking player, and you'll definitely be looking to continue the momentum that's been built up by the 2 openers. Interesting to see if he goes reverse sweep first ball.
Reverse sweep could be the option here. Let's have a look. Last ball.
They do have a deep point out for him.
Oh, just the one into cover. For those watching on the YouTube live stream, pop your comments in on who you think is going to win. RHC probably currently swaying it a little bit.
On the Wasp.
On the Wasp, yeah. Change of bowler. James Dickinson into bowl. I think this is probably the matchup they were waiting for to bring him on. Last time they played, Brando only scored 12 against Heriot's in the Prem game.
It'll be very interesting to see how Brando goes about playing James Dickinson, yeah. They'll definitely be looking to continue the attacking momentum that's been generated here by the 2 openers. But obviously that always does bring in to play a few risks and opportunity for Heriot to take a few more wickets here, which could get them back into the game.
Of course, spinner of James Dickinson's quality. They've got that deep point out already. Deep cover. Cow. Long on, long off. Very flat. One into mid wicket.
The Emirates doing a lot of marshalling here of his field with the left hand combination.
It's always difficult as a fielding captain when you've got a left-right hand combo. Just making sure people are in the right spaces, lads are switched on, knowing where they're meant to be, and for the bowlers as well, to be disciplined enough to bowl the right lines and length. Got away with one there, full toss straight to Vienna Mertz, extra cover.
That is a little outside edge there. It is
Yeah.
indeed. Rossi not too impressed with that. Hands on the hips. Again, just a bit too full there from James Dickinson.
See it just on our replay there. Dickinson into bowl. Oh yeah, fairly thick outside edge. Keeper can't do really much about that.
A bit area there from Dickinson. Interesting to see how these two batters work their roles in this partnership. If it was me, I'd probably just get Brander to continue the batting momentum. John maybe to keep working it around the next few overs.
Would you then tell Jono to keep going the way he's going, fairly attacking? Slightly flatter there, goes for the pull.
Yeah, I think in the position John is in at the moment, you would like to see probably one of these two go through to the 15th, 16th over. I think as it gets maybe more difficult to find boundaries with the field out, you're really waiting for that ball to capitalize on. Someone like Johnny who's already on 48 or 30 balls.
You can see after the power play, spread field run rate just dropped a bit. New bowler in Joe Kinghorn Gray, fresh off World Cup with the national women's squad as assistant coach.
If he hadn't bowled in the first game, this would be his first set of overs for the season?
In the game, yes. Yes. Bowled a decent amount at training on Thursday, and then this would be his first.
Well, you'd be quite stiff on Friday morning then.
Yeah, I'm sure he would have been. Wide and for not the best start, or just ideal start in general there. Not ideal. I wonder if Crossley could have potentially got to that. I'm not too sure. It might have been just too wide. I don't know. I think keeper up is definitely the right way for Joe. Oh,
looked like a little bit of glove on that.
Potentially.
Deviated it away from keeper's gloves.
Very handy operator for Heriot's last season, whereas Joe took a lot of it. He just marshaled that middle overs period, keeper up, spread field. Took a lot of wickets that way.
Very clever way he changes up his pace. Different variations he uses, keeps the batters guessing all the time. Don't know about his celebrations though. I think those might need to be packed away.
Oh, let's see what one comes out if he does take a wicket today. You're not sure he's had too much time to practice the Sellies.
Yeah, you might have to pull out one from the back pocket.
There goes the reverse sweep. Umpire's not interested. Again, looks the option. Points in the ring. Point and third man are in the ring. So any bat on that, and it's going to go for 4.
It's fairly close, that one. If anything, probably only maybe think a bit of heart. Not fairly in line.
Slower one there. Oh, in the air, just past the jumping Joe. Jumping Joe. For 1 run.
Fantastic alliteration there.
Thank you, thank you.
Been a bit of a golden arm himself over the last few seasons when he's played, Joe.
Yeah. Low full toss there. Jono helped himself to a single down to long on.
Very steady here from Jonathan Dale the last few overs.
That's 50 up for Jono. Really well batted.
Not bad at Jono.
50 off 32. Strike 156. Really very comfortable right now, Jono. It's a day for him to go all the way quick.
I'm not gonna put too much emphasis on that. I think let's just see how he goes. But I do believe he would be the one that I would ask to get that through till 15th, 16th over. And a great shot there from Brandon McMullen. All the way, just clearing the road.
6 runs. He's looked fairly untroubled so far, Jono. Brandon helping himself to hit me there.
Yeah, not quite getting it fully, but again, it's probably not a bad option to be going for Joe, making sure that if you want to hit it that way, you got to go over the fielders. Any sort of miss hit, and it may create an opportunity. But he probably just wants to be slightly fuller than that.
Well, we saw it in the last game. Brando was probably on about 40 odd when he skied up. That one to long on that just evaded the south fielders. So chances will come. Just depends on, I guess, partly luck and whether Heriot's take them.
Might be needing new balls here as well. There's the umps with the box of balls.
Just see Jono's wagon wheel there. A lot through that mid-wicket straight long on region where he's milked those singles off the spinners. And then, of course, the reverse sweeps as well.
Yeah, a pretty standard wagon wheel for Jono. Well, if you look at most of the innings he's played, whether it be his T20 cricket or 50 over cricket, it looks fairly similar. Not much going through the middle region. Very strong through extra cover and square of the wicket. And anything straight, he's happy to clip you through mid-wicket quite easily.
Very good wrists and strength to get through. Joe in again. Goes for the reverse sweep. And that is an unbelievable shot for 6. Wow. 100 runs up for RHC after the 10th.
Again, Brando just showing the capabilities of his batting. Again, not afraid to get down on one knee against seamers.
Again, as we spoke about before, the last 2 balls in the over just denting Heriot's progress a touch. Do so well in the first 3 or 4, and then the batters really capitalise in the last 2.
It's almost like a bit of a plan. Do they have a plan, RHC? Sort of you go fairly steady for the first few balls, and then try and attack the last 2.
Very potentially, I wouldn't put it past the 2 handy operators that Jono and Brando are. Sticker comes into ball. Goes to pull it. Great diving effort by Innes Parkin at deep square, but just evades them. 4 runs.
Not a very good start there, but a wonderful, wonderful shot there from Jono. Well placed. Kept it down with the field out. Just made sure he picked up the boundary.
Done well to keep it on the ground and not tempt himself to go aerial there. A touch shot again, very similar shot, same result. Other side of the fielder this time, 4 runs.
Yeah, nothing too out of the ordinary. A couple of short balls from the spinner. John is very happy to help himself to a couple of boundaries. Again, Heriot's bowler's not really making RHC having to do too much else besides work it around and put their bad balls away.
Expect Dicker to go with a bit more fly and a touch fuller here. Almost too full, but gets away with it there. They come through for just a single. Brandon strike, they're going very well. 16 off 7 so far. 2 sixes for him. Field of cow, long on, long off. Cover and deep point for that reverse. Just rocks back, helps himself to pull to cow corner for 1 run.
Doesn't look too happy with that one. Looks like he could place it a bit better, he feels.
Straight to Mark Watt there at cow, so a few meters either side of him and could potentially have been a boundary.
Last 2 balls again. Very well worked by Jonathan Zale. Possibly 2.
Good call to not run the second there. Just slip from Jono at the bowler's end. Just thinking about it, I don't know if it's a ploy to go last 2 balls, but maybe it's a sense of they want 2 boundaries and an over, and it just happened to be the last 2 balls. Because if you look at it in this over, first 2 balls were boundaries.
I think it was just due to 2 bad balls. That
could potentially
just
well, yeah.
2 half trackers. You just got to put those away. But then it makes the rest of the over quite easy now. They've got their boundaries.
Yeah.
We'll work it around. There we go. No need to take the unnecessary risk. Work it around. So 12 off that. And you continue to be ahead of the game. At this rate, 210
definitely
is on the mark.
I'm sure they'd be pushing for more than 210 with the wickets they've got in hand and the start they've got so far. Josh Elliott back into the attack from the far end here at Goldenacre. Joe Kinghorn taken out of the attack. No one really standing out with the ball here, apart from Mark Watt, which is sort of expected, but you can't expect him to get all the runs, take all the wickets.
I think they've just been very clinical to Mark Watt. Just happy to work him around, not give him too many options or take too many risks against him, and then sort of try and capitalize on the other bowlers that might give them a few better opportunities to score.
Josh into Brando. Carves it through point. Just for a single.
I think Heriot's being a little light on seam options today has probably not helped their cause. But again, looking at the bowlers that have come in to bowl, haven't quite got it right today in this final so far.
Still got 1 seamer in Innes Parkin. Normally an opening bowler for the 2s. Coming off the back of an ankle injury though, so it could be why. Slightly hesitant. Innes takes the catch. Just as we're speaking about him, round arm there from Josh Elliott. Jonah Van Zyl sort of throws that wicket away, I would say.
Yeah, a very interesting shot from Jono there. Not quite sure what he was trying to get at there. Been doing so well hitting it down the ground and working it around, and then just try to work it around the corner and got a top edge. Pretty simple catch for 45 there.
Would have felt like he's thrown that one away a touch.
George West coming in. Pretty good innings there from Jonathan Zell. Really put RHC on the front foot and given them a great platform here to put a really good score on the board. George West, captain, comes to the crease. George West is known for hitting a long ball as well. He's probably looking to keep that left-right combination going as well.
Skipper George West hasn't played too much this season. But as you said, he can hit a long ball. Very good batsman. Not to be taken lightly either. And I think him coming in with that left-right combo is probably the right thing to do. I think it's troubled the Heriot's bowlers a bit, having to change their lines for every delivery.
Yeah, it just keeps them able to attack both sides of the boundary each over.
Goes up, plays around it, not out, said the umpire.
Probably very tight there.
Can have a look on the replay here. Very wide of the crease. There is Josh. I don't know.
Very tight there. Very interesting what the umpire thought about that one.
If only we had a mic on him. I'm assuming, if anything, it has to be sliding. Because I think height was fine there. Either bat or sliding. Yeah. Brando disappointed with himself there.
Picked out the fielder quite well there, did Brandon McMullen.
Good over this from Josh Elliott, if he can close it out, that is. 4 off it so far with the wicket.
This might be the only over that's not had a boundary. And it will be.
Spoke very soon there.
Good over there from Josh Elliott. Got the breakthrough. Closed the over off well. RHC still well ahead, I think, at this stage in terms of momentum.
120 for 12 after 12, going at 10s. 120 for 2, sorry, for 12 after going at 10s. Very comfortable. Still be aiming for above 200, I reckon. New bat in the crease, so Mark Watt coming into bowl as strike bowler. Mark Watt against the lefty, especially coming over, you tend to see him with the arm ball that comes in to that left-hander. So that's one to look out for. Almost releases it like a seamer releases a ball. It's not a conventional arm ball.
Those little in-swingers.
Yeah.
Also look out for the 24-yarder.
Umpire standing very close to the stumps though, so he might not have told the umpire to move. Oh, there we go. Just as I spoke.
I think a little 2-3 over period here for RHC. Just work it around quite well. Give yourself a chance of being able to get to that 130, 140 mark with 5 or 6 overs to go.
Beats the diving, joking hungry, goes 4 runs. It's just touch probably too wide there for Mark Watt. He won't be happy with that one at all.
Especially with this field set that he's got. He can't be giving that much width away.
Deep square, cow corner, deep point, long on and long off. It's like a back ring.
Yeah, just way too wide for this field set and giving an easy opportunity to beat the short third man.
Gives George West a bit of confidence as well. Runs off the bat properly, 4 runs. Just a bit of flight there. Does the fielding off his own bowling. Bit of flight again. Was very high up. James Dixon underneath it. Takes the catch very comfortably. 3 down, RHC. Going for the sort of swipe across the line there to Cow. Interesting, thinking that Cow was out as well. Hoping to just pierce that gap between Cow and Long On. But finds himself top edging it to James Dickinson at mid wicket.
Looks like Tyler Stagg coming in now.
Deshaun Rani getting into motion. A good 2 overs here for Heriot. Getting 2 wickets back.
Could be a small momentum change here. I think obviously with Brandon still there, still easily on target for a 200 score.
You can just see the run rate. Just dipping slightly from what it was, fairly up and down throughout the whole innings.
Tyler Stagg, very strong over extra cover. We'll see his main boundary shots. The spinners will be through and over extra as well as down the ground.
Now gone to a right combo for the 2 bats. You've got cover, long on, long off, and no Cow. Deep square, sorry.
I think if Heriot's are able to find a 4th wicket here in the next over or 2, that could really hurt RHC's chances of posting 200.
Short third comes into a first slip here. Bit of flight. Played very late. Played well though. Dot ball. See if Mark Watt can finish off the over here. Sends Cow out now, just to protect the boundary there.
Ended up to finish. Again, I'm not too sure if that was the bowler to target. It's always difficult to get Mark Watt away, especially in conditions that seem to be providing a little bit of assistance for the spinners. They've done really well to him, just sort of working him around those first couple of overs. I think maybe they just missed a trick there. I'm not too sure if that was the one to target.
Neat. 8 runs off the last 2 overs with the 2 big wickets. Josh Elliott to continue on for his final over. Comes down the wicket, dot ball.
Be very interesting to see how Brando goes about things now.
Full toss, just not well enough to get to a long on fielder, fortunately for Brando.
Very similar ball that got him out in the first game.
Maybe that's the way. Full tosses.
Very interesting to know that he's trying to still hit that ball in that area straight. Yeah. Very difficult to hit that ball there.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see how if Stagg plays that Deshaun role where he just rotates, which allows Brandon to play a bit more, with a bit more freedom and a bit more expressive.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised Deshaun has not come in now, just to continue to rotate that strike at these sort of crucial overs where, you know, running between the wickets is so important.
Guides that through point and goes all the way for 4.
Bit fortunate there at the top edge.
He'll take it though. Not sure he'll be complaining.
No, not at all.
See it just on the replay here.
Very close to cut. He was looking to go quite fine.
Bit more flight this time. Plays a very similar shot. Innes making the chase. Doesn't quite get to the boundary and they come through for a double. It's a nice idea by Tyler Stagg, who Josh bowling a bit more straight, using the sort of pace and flatness that he's bowling at to get a couple of runs for the boundary.
Be interesting to see if Josh slows it up a bit. Goes straighter.
Just the one there as he hits it towards cow region. Final ball of the over here, Brandon on strike. Probably more the same, I reckon. Just get the single, get back on strike. Oh.
In the end, a dot ball.
The end of dot ball and one stump removed.
Josh Heriot's set done, 1 for 31 in his 4. Final 2 overs are really well bowled. Pulled it back nicely. James Dickinson coming back on now, holding Mark Watt back for the last couple of overs.
James Dickinson on for his third year, going at 10 so far, so very quite expensive for him. He's not normally known to be going at such high economies. Bit of flight there.
Yeah, unfortunately, not a great start to his second over. Sort of put him in a bit of pressure.
4-4, 1-1-1-1-1.
Just not quite getting his lengths right there in that second over, it is. But started all right here in his third.
Goes for the slog sweep, just beats him in flight there.
Much better ball there from Dickinson. Again, just Heriot's finding better areas now after the 11th, 12th over. Been really good the last 2 or 3.
Goes again, giving him, stumped. Matthew Cross with the glove work behind the stumps and big wicket that.
Massive
Brandon
wicket.
McMullen gone. Third, 21 of 16.
Massive wicket. Great piece of glove work there. And again, 2 balls, similar area where it's really tough to score. Bit of turn.
Back foot just creeping on towards his leg side there, and he will not be happy with that. Brandon McMullen expected to pretty much bat the 20 here. As we see Rob Thompson coming into bat now. Still no sign of Dishan Rani. Potentially an injury that we aren't made aware of.
Looks like they're obviously doing their best to try and maximize the scoring here. I did chat to Tomo before the start of the game. He did say he was in at 6, so
could be planned, yeah.
Could just be a shuffle of the batting order for this game.
Interesting though, considering how much spin Heriot has got. The player of Dishan's caliber playing against spin, you would expect him to be a bit higher up, but I don't know. I guess we'll find out. I'll try to find out at halfway stage.
Rob Thompson, not the most sort of technically conventional player, but he's got a great swing on him. He's played some important innings for RHC over the last couple of seasons.
Plays that nice and fine. Very short and it's gone 4.
Wonderful start there from Rob Thompson. Little clip down the leg side. He's really grown into a strong leader within this group over the last few seasons. Leads the way really well with what's expected of the boys. And he's, again, not shy of hitting a long ball either.
Dickinson comes in again. Goes to cut it. Shwana Dennis Park in there at cover. Going at 100 strike rate so far this season, so very useful in T20s. Lloyd Brown warming up in front of us here at long off, so could be seeing his offies very, very soon. A bit of flight there. That beats the diving Mark Watt at car corner and goes for 4. Almost slide tackles that ball.
Again, just those last couple of balls just costing Heriot's here.
Looks like it is Lloyd Brown onto ball. Very good sweep shot there, just outside off. Mark Watt goes to tackle it feet first.
Lloyd Brown probably looking to go around the wicket here.
He tends to go around the wicket, much more of a flighter of the ball, so we'll have probably long on cow square. I'm hoping for like a top edge or a miss hit.
It'll definitely be enticing Rob Thompson here for a big hit.
Joe Kinghorn Gray, Justin Rob Thompson of the year there. Good mates they are.
Known each other a long time they have. So they know what to rubs each other up the wrong way as well.
As you can see on your screen, myself and Mr. Craig Alberton on comms. Again, put your guesses or predictions for the winners in the comment section of the live stream. Lloyd coming into bowl, that goes through cover. Danes doing the fielding there at long off.
Good piece of fielding. So down to 1. Hardy start from Lloyd Brown.
Lloyd Brown captaining the Eastern Knights in the regional series and previous captain of Heriot's first team as well. Good running there from the 2. 16 wickets so far for him. Had a very good start to the season with the ball. He's taken 8 wickets in the regional series with his off spin.
Very handy part-timer. Can give you a couple of overs and uses his experience very well.
Given.
And he's given him out.
Rob Thompson is not happy with that decision.
It's one of those where you could get bat and ground at the same time as the ball.
See it here on your replay. Coming around the wicket. Very full.
Hard to see there.
Yeah.
Not as convincing from the keeper as the bowler. No doubt in the umpire's mind, but Rob Thompson not very convinced at that decision.
No, this is what I like to see. Syed Aziz against an off-spinner coming around the wicket. This can go one of 2 ways.
Is he going to give himself a starter? I think that's the thought here. Is there a starter involved, or is it, oh, you're in my area, pal. You're going into the bank.
This could be one of the first few balls that we see go over the hedges here at Goldenacre. Syed Aziz, if you don't know, jump on the Instagram, search him up. You will see some lovely videos of him hitting some very, very big sixes. 175 strike rate in all games this season. This is average, so
144 for 5 here, making it more difficult to get that 200 mark. Par is probably around 180.
oh, he's giving me flight.
Really enticed Aziz into it there.
Good over this from Lloyd Brown so far. Can you close it out? That's been a struggle so far this innings for the Heriot's bowlers. Quicker one there, finds the outside edge. Greg Richardson does really well at backward point to anticipate and stop the run. Quicker one there again, beats cover. Mark Watt doing the hard yards. Does well as they come round for 2.
It's a long chase there for Mark.
Yeah.
Seems to be quite square in the boundary there.
Good over there from Lloyd Brown.
Probably one of the better overs of the innings so far.
Really good, I saw a platform set here so far by RHC, Van Zyl, Naylor, and I guess Brando as well, doing really well up top. Few wickets pegged them back, but still 4 overs in this. Pick of the bowlers so far has been Mark Watt. 3 overs, 16 runs, the 1 wicket. James Dickinson back into the attack, going at 10s again, as we've mentioned before. Not as usual, but did get the big wicket of Brandon McMullen, which is probably the difference between 200 and not getting 200.
Wonderful shot there from Tyler Stagg. Again, just slightly too full there from James Dickinson. As we've seen pretty much from both games now. Too full, it's really easy to put away.
That's 150 up now for RHC off 16.1 overs. Much shorter there from James Dickinson. Lloyd Brown doing the fielding here in front of us at long on.
Really good piece of fielding there from Lloyd Brown. Ball was bobbling a bit there. What a good clean pickup. Ensured there was no two.
No, this is the one. Side Aziz versus James Dickinson. Covers out. You got square, cow, long on, short boundary. Very flat there by James Dickinson.
Giving nothing to Aziz to get under.
Sort of smothers himself over, hits it through cover. 1 run. Again, can James Dickinson finish off the over here? Decent start so far. Final 2 balls remaining. Opens up that front leg, does Tyler Stagg.
Really, really well hit there. He's done really well to get that power on the ball from that length.
You can see it there. Sort of gets into that position, just drives it through with the wrist. Very, very wristy, and flicks it through and manages to beat cow and long on. 4 runs.
Not that bad of a ball at all. Really actually well bowled, making very hard to get under. Somehow he's been able to squeeze it out with that amount of power.
22 off 11 now for Tyler Stagg, going at 200s. 4-4 so far for him. Much better length there by James Dickinson. Tyler Stagg, give himself room. Cuts it for 1. That's end of Dicko's spell. 1 for 41 off his 4. He wouldn't be too happy with his bowling so far in the final, but has done well to get the wicket of Brandon McMullen. Lloyd Brown now to continue at the far end here at Goldenacre. These two ticking along nicely. 13-run partnership. 10 of that from Stagg, 3 of that from Side Aziz.
This was an important over. This could dictate whether RHC get closer to 200.
Again, same field, long on, cow, square leg, deep cover. Flatter there, giving him out.
Really well
Matthew
bowled.
Cross.
Excellent use of his experience there, Lloyd Brown, and a great piece of work behind the stumps there from Matthew Cross.
Wide of the crease there, really dragged, almost like an arm ball into the wicket. Catches Stagg off guard with the pace, and good catch there by Matthew Cross.
Again, the right length on the surface as a spinner would have made it quite difficult to actually get away.
Dishan Rane, here we go. In at number 8.
He will be inventive. I will give you that. He will be inventive at this stage of the innings coming in.
Has he got the sweep, the reverse sweep?
Yes. He's got a good sweep on him. It's a good hard sweep. Hits it well through and over extra as well, similar to Tyler Stagg. Be interesting if he would be able to go after the bowling, or will he be trying to get Aziz on strike to take down the balls?
Lloyd Brown with a bit of flight in the air, very slightly there by Deshan.
Does Aziz do here? Does he take on Lloyd Brown?
Sensible option would be to say no. Skies one up in the air. Lloyd Brown's underneath it. Takes a very, very good catch. Cotton bowled Lloyd Brown. I guess you didn't fancy listening to me. That's all right.
I think around the wickets into Aziz's arc. Aziz was not going to shy away from trying to take down the boundary. Wasn't meant for him today. But again, really, really good spell here from Lloyd Brown, filling out another wicket and getting Heriot back into the game here. RHC stalling a bit.
Really pegged themselves with wickets here these last few overs, as you can see. Young Cam Hunter into the crease now, see what he can do. We can have a look at where a lot of the runs have been scored. You can see not much, like pretty much all over the place. Scored runs.
Just shows the different kinds of players that have been in. All different zones at different areas and strengths. Sort of all looking to use their skill sets to try and hit as many gaps and areas around the boundary. But it also made easier from the Heriot's bowlers in those first 12 to 13 overs.
Dan Leg says umpire, and they come through for one leg by.
200's now looking a little bit more like 170, 175 maybe, if they can get a few away here in the last couple.
If they keep going at this rate, they get to 180, which is a very competitive score. Issue is 2 new men at the crease. Deshan obviously very accomplished. Can Cam Hunter sort of stick with him here?
Not too sure if these are the 2 men you're wanting at the crease at this stage of the game. I think they're going to have to play it a bit smarter and make sure they maximize the ability to score off every ball.
Lloyd Brown really, really tight there.
Do you think RHC have missed a trick here with not sending maybe Deshan a little bit earlier, just to do what he did with McMullen in that first game, provide a little bit of support from one end, and just creep a little bit closer and get to that 160, 170 mark around that sort of 16th over or so, with a few more wickets in hand.
You can have a look here how run rates sort of dipped as wickets have come at very regular intervals here. Mark Watt, the next man on to bowl. Strike bowler for Heriot, has done really well, and probably the right option for the penultimate over.
Yeah, very important over this as well. They can get away with 8 or less. Really puts them in a shout to get them under that 170, 175 mark.
Give it a bit of flight. Skies up in the air. Joe King on grey underneath it. Takes the catch.
I can understand the thought process of trying to keep the momentum going from an RHC's point of view, but they run the risk of getting themselves bowled out here without 20 overs being faced.
With the start they've had, it's incredibly disappointing. Donovan Zale 60 off 37 up top. Senior replay there, top edge is it. Joe Man just to get underneath it. Not really much of a see there.
No, I think they only come when he does the bowling.
Eman Ayush Patra into the crease.
He'll look to run hard between the wickets here, no doubt. Him and Dish probably look to do their best to try and find as much space as possible, run hard, maximise the amount of balls they've got left. Probably won't be looking at too many
boundaries.
Yeah, big risks and boundaries over these next 11 balls. They can get 16 plus out of these next 11 balls. That gets them closer to 180. They're able to find the odd boundary or two here. It'll be an absolute bonus.
I think Ayush will try to use the pace here of Marquardt if he does go for his quicker one.
Does love a run down past third man, does Ayush?
Does indeed. I've seen that many a times before. But again, as we mentioned, a very technical player. He looks very good when he's batting.
I've always looked at him as a if he actually wanted to put a lot of effort into batting, as someone that could actually turn himself into a really good opener.
Very compact, very solid in the way he goes about his business. Mert's in at first slip.
But can he close off the innings? Yeah.
Use of pace there, flicks it off his pads. Just the one. Early call by Dishan for just the one there. But Yushi off the mark.
Yeah, he's very capable.
Good man to have at 10.
Very capable with the bat. Shouldn't be needing to see Dish needing to farm too much strike here.
There, as he called, tap and run cricket.
I think you've got to get yourself through to the last 3 balls of the 20th over, and then try and see if you can maximize a boundary or 2 off that.
Just a 24-yarder. Given.
And really well bowled from Marquardt there. Not only using the 24-yarder, but sort of firing at him straight.
A little bit of flight, yeah. Hopefully we can see it on the replay when it comes up. Very useful tool that he has. Bit of flight, straight on, pins him on the back. Touch high, potentially.
Yeah, but you probably think that's going to be hitting top of the stumps.
Right, not the tallest man Ayush either, so...
Definitely looked like it slid on a bit. Alan Clarkson in. How long before the reverse sweep comes out?
This is his wicket. This is home turf for him.
Yeah.
He preps his wicket day in, day out. It's more of a home ground to him than it is to some of the Heriot lads.
Well, if you're going on someone who spends more time at the ground, I don't think he spends any less than the actual home players.
Probably more than
100%
players. RHC 161 for 9 after 18.4.
I think it's so important you have to try and maximize the 8 balls you have left. Even if you get 8 singles, that takes you closer to 170. It just gives a little bit more of momentum factor towards your second innings.
Quick one there from Marquardt. Pins him on the pads. Umpires not interested. Looked pretty straight that, but
Maybe just sliding down.
potentially, yeah, umpire very quick, not interested.
Looked like a bit of a quicker ball there as well.
Just marshalling third and point to be a bit more around. Almost. Use the pace. Good store one. Nice and loopy. Ends Marquardt's 4 overs. 3 for 18.
Out the front of the hand, that ball that they went up for.
Sliding.
Yeah, down the leg side.
Good call.
It'll be very interesting to see how Dishan goes about this last over. I really don't think they need to waste too many balls and just do their best to try and maximize.
Lloyd Brown to continue, so looks like a very spin heavy pitch. RHC won't be too sad about that.
I think the only difference is they've only got the 2 spinners.
Correct.
George West can offer some spin, but I suppose it depends on how he's feeling with the hip.
Lloyd Brown to continue around the wicket. Rani on strike. Goes for the reverse.
Just a single.
Just a spat on it. Okay, I thought it went straight through everyone.
Look at those figures for Lloyd Brown. 3 for 6 and 2 overs. Really been a game changer. His spell.
Got the wickets of Stag, Thompson, and Side Disease. 3 of the RHC middle order there. Changes the game completely.
And 3 of the guys that could be clearing the boundaries for you in those latter stages of the game. I think Rob Thompson was a bit unfortunate there.
Interesting field. Long on, long off. Cow, square, and cover. I would have expected potentially long on, long off to come up. Try and make him play over the top. Cover's come up now.
Again, I don't think Callum will be going to his preferred reverse sweep at this stage. Probably just trying to maximize balls here.
Point is back, so the reverse sweep would just be a single if anything. Oh, there we go. One leg buys.
Very interesting he's gone for that option, considering you don't want to leave yourself a couple of balls short.
Dish comes down the wicket. Not really troubling Marquardt at all down there at long off. 1 run. Bit of fly there to get Cal Clarkson hitting straight. And goes for
The boundary.
4 runs.
Again, much better option from Callum there. Wonderful shot back over the bowler's head. Probably your biggest space on the boundary out in front of square.
In front of square, there's a big gap between cow and square leg as well. If you can get that sweep or get onto a back foot pull almost. Final ball innings. Oh, Lloyd Brown pulls out. Cal Clarkson shadowing the reverse. Goes for the reverse. Hits the reverse. 6 runs.
It's a great shot from Callum Clarkson. Again, maximising those final 2 balls. Really well done there from Callum Clarkson.
You can hear the RHC fans and players in the back. It's an unbelievable shot. Very risky, that one.
Again, gets him to that 175 mark, which is probably a little short of par and probably a bit short of what they were set to be getting at the halfway point. But definitely a score that can be defended with their bowling attack as well. It was the winning score for Heriot's last year.
Correct. Match summary there. John Van Zyl, 60 off 37. Liam Naylor, 32 off 21. Lloyd Brown, pick of the bowlers, 3 wickets for 17 runs off his 3. Final over a little bit expensive there. 10, almost I think 12 off it. 11 off it. Marquardt, 3 for 18 off his 4. A good little comeback there, that last over 2. RHC off to a great start in the beginning, thanks to Jono and Naylor. Slightly pegged back by the RHC, by the Heriot's bowler, sorry. And then good little finish. All in all, sets us up for a very, very exciting second innings. If you're not here yet, get yourself down to Goldenacre. Welcome back to the second innings here at Goldenacre for the Masterton finals between RHC and Heriot. RHC posted 174 for 9 after their 20 overs, with Jonah Van Zyl scoring the bulk of the runs and Lloyd Brown the pick of the bowlers with 3. Lloyd Brown, Mark Watt opening the batting. Brandon McMullen opening the bowling. Here at the main square at Goldenacre, looks like it's going to set up to be an absolute thriller, so get yourself down if you are not here yet. The sun is out, the barbecue is on, and the bar is open. I'm joined in the commentary box by Mr. Craig Yelverton.
Really looking forward to the second innings. I really hope that Heriot can take it close to make it a nice spectacle. A great way to finish a final. I might still be edging towards RHC, hopefully, as a past coach. And it would also be nice to see someone different win it for a change.
That's fair. I'm not sure I would agree, though. 2 men out, long on, square leg.
You are a bit biased, colleague.
Jonah Van Zyl, keeper, standing up, dot ball. I'd like to think I'm fairly neutral when I'm commentating.
I think the commentating's been fine. I think we've both been quite neutral today.
Good for us.
But deep down, we know where your heart lies.
We know. Brandon McMullen in for a second. Back for length. Lloyd carves it through point and short third man. 4 runs. Splits it 2.5. Catching height, though. Very catching height.
Very close to creating an opportunity there. I think Heriot will need a little bit of that on their side today. I think if they're going to chase down the score of 175. No doubt RHC, even though they played really well, did have a few bits of luck their way as well.
Spin seemed to be the way to go, though, both in the first semi-final here on the main square, as well as the first innings of the final here, really denting scoring areas and scoring runs for the bats.
Yeah, again, if you seem to hit that right area for the spinner, very hard to get away off this wicket.
Slight hint of a way swing there from Brandon McMullen. Cam Hunter at mid-off is a touch deep, and they come through for a single.
Brandon looking just to sort of bowl within himself here, not looking to charge in too much. Will just take a little bit of pace off, make it hard for the batters to use any pace that's on the ball. Keep it wicket to wicket.
Field slightly changed for Mark Watt. Square leg and deep point both gone out. Very square at the wicket.
Mark asking for the south screen to be moved across. In a very important partnership list for Heriot if they're going to get themselves close. One of these two might need to go through.
Excellent ball there from Brandon McMullen. Yeah, both these two have scored a lot of runs up top, and not usually very quickly as well for Heriot's. But I think with the pressure of a final, chasing in a final, a decent total in a final, might just make them play in their shells just a touch.
Pretty even Stevens both ways on this over. Heriot should be happy with that tight start. So would RHC.
6 off the first, Side Aziz on to bowl the second. This could go. I feel like this is the bowler to target for Heriot. I think it's nice pace on the ball. Won't be as sharp as potentially Tyler Stagg. And if you get on top from early, could be the way to go.
Yeah, I think this is someone Mark Watt will probably look to target. I think it's his sort of matchup, especially if the field's up straight.
Coming around the wicket, potentially into the body. Side Aziz went at nines in the first semi-final against Edinburgh South wicketless. Square leg out. On the money first up, double.
I think where RHC could do really well in their bowling innings is making sure they close off their overs well. Sort of seen a pattern over the last two games here where both teams, I would say, have been a bit loose in those last two balls, giving away boundaries. So if RHC can keep those overs tight towards the end there, they'll give themselves a real chance closing off this game.
Start so far. Lloyd just having a chat with Mark Watt after the first two. Deep point and deep square, the two men out. Potentially looking to go short. Very full. Hangs up in the air. Taken.
Definitely didn't get enough of that. It looked like at first he really hit it well,
Yeah.
but clearly not as well as everyone thought. Rob Thompson turned and ran and then realized it wasn't going anywhere over his head. It's a great start for RHC. Big wicket to pick up in the second over.
Just seemed to hold up a little bit in the wind there. As you said, safe pair of hands in Rob Thompson. Not dropping those. Next bat in Matthew Cross. Big wicket that for Side Aziz, especially with Mark Watt. Him potentially being the bowler he's looking to take on.
Yeah, and I don't think Aziz got his length quite right there.
Yeah.
It was fortunate not to be put away, but again, sometimes you need a little bit of that on your side in a final. Another big wicket to get you. Matthew Cross be very dangerous if he gets going.
Recently picked up by the Glasgow Cosmic in the ETPL. Some big names in that Glasgow Cosmic squad.
Definitely a firepower batting lineup. Finn Allen and George Munvey opening the batting.
Oh, tough to bowl to. Wide ball. Good pace there by Aziz. Square leg in deep cover, the two out for Matthew Cross. Looking to go back, but they're not letting him hit straight, where he's very strong. Very strong on the short ball as well. Just gets himself in a bit of a tangle there. Nothing to worry about. Great over though by Side Aziz.
Looks like a big nip back there.
Can you finish off with a wicket maiden? Guys, it's a point. Dishan doing the fielding there. Great work. 1 run. End of the over. Really good over there from Side Aziz.
Oh, there was a wide there as well. There should be one left.
Correct. Apologies.
Good close there from Aziz. Full, wide. Lloyd Brown not able to dig that out. When he runs,
8 for 1 off the first two. Brando to continue his second here.
wonderful start here by RHC. He's really given themselves a great opportunity.
Still batting to come with skipper Vian Mertz, Josh Elliott, James Dickinson, Ryan Brown, some big hitters. I think these two are the main two to try and break the back of the partnership of the run chase, sorry.
Definitely got some strong hitters to come down the order. Ryan Brown, Dernier Smithcard champion. Guys that can strike the ball really well, but you don't want to leave them with too much to do.
Deep point, deep score again for Matthew Cross. Goes over extra, just beats the running Cam Hunter, and they come through just for a single. Expansive shot for one.
Not the best running there, I don't think.
No, should have been two. Could have been two, should have been two.
I think they were quite confident they might be going to the boundary. Lovely shot there. Just presentation.
Just seems to be holding up a touch in the wind here. Even Mark Watt's shot, the one he got out to, just seems to hold up in the wind a touch. Lloyd Brown really smothering over that ball. Brando on the money here to Lloyd. Deep cover comes up into cover, and mid-on drops back to long on for Lloyd. Really not letting Lloyd play his shots here. You would normally see him come down by this point, or try to come down, but with Van Zyl standing up, too risky. Goes up, umpire gives it.
This is a massive wicket there for RHC. Lloyd Brown gone, the man that's got them over the line in the semi-final.
Not really trouble the scorers there, 5 off his 6.
Oh yes, very comfortably out that. No arguments there. A lot to do here now for Heriot. It's 9 for 2. Run rate creeping up close to 10s. It's going to take something a little special now from a couple of batters to put them back.
Skipper Vian Mertz, next man in at the crease. He's done it before. He tends to, I wouldn't say thrive, but he does well in these struggle situations. But really, this is the game for a captain's knock here for Vian. 360-ish runs this season, averaging 30 with the bat feed. 120 strike rate in T20s so far. A lot of pressure on these two now. A lot of pressure. Into the point, region, 1 run. What would be your sort of talk here with the batter? Would it be still try and make use of the power play, or is it more of a rebuild and then once the 2 are set, you can then go on later on in your innings?
It'll be, for me, I think you've got to get through the next couple of overs. I think get yourself to a point where you get to over number 5 here, and then you try and maximize the last over of the power play, try and get you to sort of 40 plus. Not leave yourself too much with 14 overs to go. think if you're looking at over 10s or 14 overs, you're leaving yourself with a lot to do.
Short ball there. Yeah, and managed to play it well. Actually, his keeper John by surprise a little bit, I think, as well. Not sure that was a deliberate short ball. I think he just sort of slipped there
Fell over again,
when he
goes for the
landed.
tolls.
Yeah.
Wonderful over there from McMullen. 4 off it with the wicket. Yeah, I think these next 2 overs, you can't afford to lose another wicket here. I think you've got to find a way to get yourself 25 or so in the next two, and then try and see if you can capitalize on that last over as best you can. Try not give yourself too much to do that back half of the innings. I think overs 6 to 11 here are going to be vital for Heriots if they're going to actually put themselves in a position to chase this target.
Side is he's returning after a wonderful first over, removing the dangerous Mark Watt. On the money straight away.
Again, RHC, similar to the first innings at Edinburgh South, not doing anything too drastic, just learning and hitting good areas, making it as difficult for the batters to score. Can't have top of the stumps there. Haven't seen too many full balls so far.
That's a full one. Gets away with it a touch.
Yeah, Vion will feel he's missed out there. Slightly fuller. I think that's also been the difference where RHC were putting those balls away in the power play. Heriots haven't quite been able to do the same.
Short ball there, went up to the point. Even with the regular loss of wickets, RHC still managed to maintain a decent run rate of between that 9 to 11 throughout the whole game. Started off massive with Jono and Nail, and then when they lost a few, they were still hitting the 9 and over pretty consistently, which is what helped them get to 170 from the position that they were at.
100%, I think helped with the way Heriot's bowled, giving them lots of opportunities to score and find boundaries. Tipped away into the leg side there, which RHC at the moment haven't given them those opportunities. But I think also batting first, it gives you that little bit of extra freedom to know that even if you've lost a couple of wickets, you can still go out there and try and continue the momentum, especially with the platform that was created. Whereas, yeah, it's a different situation.
Goes for the pull shot, well stopped by Yushit mid-wicket. Yeah, if you look at the comparison at this stage, RHC were 36 for no loss. Heriots are 14 for 2. It's a 22-run difference plus the 2 wickets that they lost early on. And that's massive.
That's the thing, I think from this stage, it's almost like, how much do you back yourself to get in the last 5 overs with the batting order that you've got?
Slower ball there from Side Aziz. And they come through for a very quick single. Oh, overthrows. Jono slipped. And it goes all the way for 4.
Bonus runs there for Heriot. Take a little bit of pressure off this over now. Is that declared 5 runs?
Ump's just signaled 4.
They did cross for a single, so they did complete at least 1 run. Should be 5.
5 runs. 11 off it for Side Aziz. That's unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. Looks like it's Tyler Stagg coming on. If you're not here yet, get yourself down to Goldenacre. The sun is out. We've got a decent crowd. Barbecue is on. Bar is open. What will hopefully be a close final for the Masterton Trophy. You can just see here on the graph. Um, just here on the graph, how quick RHC have scored there is compared to Heriot's, and where the 2 wickets sort of came about, sort of stem the runs a little bit.
That's the important thing about taking wickets when you're defending a total. It just makes it more and more difficult for the batting team to figure out how they're going to go about their innings. How well do they pace their chase?
Shot. Just a little pickup shot off his hips. 1 bounce 4. It wasn't even too short.
Just a nice pickup shot off back of a length there.
See on your replay here, Stag runs in. Just hip high, and Vienna helps its way through the mid-wicket boundary for 4 runs.
Nice to see Tyler Stagg running in. Still looking to hit a hard length here.
Touch fuller there. They tuck it into square leg.
Unfortunate there. They've been clipped away. Be a bit too straight. Tyler's had a couple of weeks where he struggled a little bit with his run up, but it looks like it's working all right today. First game bowled really well. He started off okay. The first thing, I think it was just a good shot in that first ball, just picking it up off a hard length there.
Just a touch low there. Crossy manages to dig it out. You can just see Jonah Van Zyl just instructing his backward point Dishan to come in a bit, stay off the ring, keep coming in. Just almost stop that single. Goodbye, Stag, on the money there.
Again, just plugging away at that same length there, making it as difficult as possible for the batters to get their hands through it. Seems they're looking at a small rebuild here, just trying to get through a few overs.
I think it's probably the right way of going about it as well.
Glancing down the track there is Matthew Cross. Just pushing it down to London for a single.
Sticking with a deep point and a deep square, or sorry, a deep cover and a deep square for both bats. Oh, it's gone through Cal Clarkson. Slightly leg side there.
Doesn't look like Cal's seen it.
Sort of flicks it through. It's gone quite fine, and yeah, I don't think Cal's picked that up, and it's helped us way for 4.
Very lucky there. That's that little bit of luck we were speaking about earlier.
See Cal hands on hips there a little bit. Flicks it over.
It's a little bit delayed in his movements, just setting himself a bit late there. And then as the ball gets to him, he's not quite ready for it.
Cam Hunter coming on to bowl. This will be, again, I think, the over for Crossy and Vian to sort of go about it. You can see on your screen right now, bowling figure, side Aziz McMullen, really, really good up top. Tyler Stagg, a little bit unlucky, I would say, to go for 10. Plugged away at a good length. And then last over the power play for Cam Hunter. Who's the 2 out? You've got a square leg.
Looks like square leg and a long on game back.
Square leg, long on, yeah.
Matthew Cross very strong over mid-off, an extra cover. He's going to make sure his line's quite straight here.
Good bounce. Well
extra points.
taken. Yeah, you're sort of expecting him to go into the body here with square and long on, not really giving him that much width outside off to free his hands.
Yeah, I think he got away with one net. I think that extra bounce helped him get away with that width there.
Over extra there from Crossy, just over the jumping Brandon McMullen, as you quite rightly called, Craig.
Yeah, again, just probably getting his areas a bit wrong there. Around that middle and off mark. I think Crossy will be looking to find that area, probably keep himself a bit more leg side. This is an important over for both teams.
It's brave to give it to young Cam Hunter. Sure, Jono's not seeing it off the bat by the looks of things.
Yeah, it looks like a small deflection off the face of the bat there. Took it away from the gloves. Better length though. Not quite matching it up with the line required.
This is what Crossy needs to sort of rebuild into his innings and get his confidence. See it there through cover again, diving Brandon McMullen.
Again, just losing his line there. Can't afford to stray outside that off stump to Matthew Cross with this field set.
As predicted. Make it to the final over the power play and make the most of it. Not that bad of a ball either, to be honest. I think she played really well.
Yeah. Just allowing Matthew Cross to use a little bit of width.
Touch short there. That has been absolutely blazed. One bounce four.
I can understand the change in bowling here and bringing Cam Hunter on.
Would you potentially have given it to a more experienced operator like Cal? Seeing it's such an important over, Cal Clarkson. Maybe another one to Aziz or a Brando.
I think you could have. I think the understanding here is Heriot's are behind the game. You know, they know they're going to need to have a big fifth over. You know, if Cam comes on, they probably want to try and target him, which means they're going to give you some opportunities as well. So you look at it and go, it's a risk that could allow you to sneak a third wicket in the power play. It's all worked out. Crossy's played that over well. If you think about it, probably only two real bad balls from Cam Hunter in that.
Yeah.
The others just really well played.
46 for 2 in the power play for Heriot. Just creeping up slightly, the run rate. Catching up to RHCs. They were going at around threes, now just over 7.5s. As expected, as we mentioned before, pretty important final over that stag back onto the ball. I'm assuming they'll probably spread the field now.
Yeah, I think you'd want to now put your 5 men out, give them as little opportunities to gain those boundaries.
Looks like they got 3 out. Fine leg, square leg, deep cover, and a cow. Cow's just gone out now. So there's your, and then third man. There's your 5. Standard 5, protect the boundaries. I think pretty much similar field they had against South as well.
Can't afford to get too forward here.
Oh, that was a full one. Finds the edge.
And another boundary.
$50 up for Heriot, so 6.1 overs. Not the best last 8 balls for RHC.
I think that one was a little lucky for Heriot. A little outside edge, squeezed it out. But I still don't think that's the length you need to be bowling with this field.
Correct. Both mid on, mid off are up, and for a player of Cross's caliber, he will hit you over the top if it's there. No ball called, and they come through for 1.
This is where Tyler was struggling the last couple of weeks, keeping their foot behind the line. Had a tough one against Watson's last weekend.
Do you think the pressure of being, I guess, a touch more expensive has gotten into try ball a little bit quicker, which could, I don't know, force him a little bit overstriding almost.
I think maybe the first ball going for a boundary might have just made him want to sort of make up for that,
Mm-hmm.
and in turn sort of just put a little bit extra effort into that run up and just slightly overstepped.
So it's in his mind now, isn't it? That thought of potentially crossing is
I think it's just important he found a way to keep himself relaxed. They're still ahead of the game here, but quite a bit. It's just important to make sure he just keeps doing what he's done in his first over.
full ball. Viermer skies it up. No ball though. They come through for one. A few celebrations of by some of the crowd. Viermer sort of falling over there, not really in any position to really hit that.
Looking to sort of get that behind square.
Yeah. Maybe predicting a sort of back of a length one, try and use a pace off. Full there. And Cross is going to help himself for 4 rounds.
Again, it's not the length or the line you want to be bowling to Matthew Cross. You'd rather have him trying to pull you and cut you on this field and allow him to hit over extra cover and straight.
Just a slight hint of shape away and just opens the back face. Plays it over cover, 4 runs. Slightly shorter there. Crossy goes to pull it. Doesn't really get much of it. Bottom half of the bat by the looks of things, and just one to mid wicket. Last 2 balls, Stag would want to finish off strong here.
I think this is where it's going to be an important part of the game once the spin starts to come on. Matthew Cross very good on the sweep.
Sort of his go-to against spin, really. Fuller there. Vianmertz puts his hand through it. Hands through it, side as he does the fielding. Very low arm throw there. 50 partnership between Crossy and Vian. 29 from Matthew. Vian 19. Coming off just 28 balls.
Most of those runs coming off the last 12 balls as well.
Pretty much, yeah. Been a period of ill discipline. Much better there from Stag.
And that's where you want to be to these two players. Just sort of gone away from that length this over. It's like they have 1 ball left.
Yeah. Dot ball.
I think Bump got an extra ball there.
Yeah. Very good fixed.
Here's our first spin of the innings. Carl Clarkson on.
On the far end, is that his preferred end? I don't know. Maybe just for today.
I have seen him bowl from both ends.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure he prefers either end. I think he just sort of looks at what end will be preferable for him according to field size, conditions. He's sort of a bowler that wouldn't be too fussed bowling from either end. He'll get on with his job quite well.
Square, cow, cover. 3 men out.
Deep square and out corner as well. Yeah. There's Tomo going back to long on.
Yeah.
He is indeed.
Ayush going down to long off. 5 out.
Standard 5 out. Spinner.
Giving Vian some flight is beaten. I'm assuming he's edged that. Good running there from Vian, and they scamper through for 2. Yeah, off the bat. Oh, Cal.
Has he done himself mischief, yeah? He rolled his ankle, maybe?
That doesn't look good. Seems to be soldiering on.
He seems okay. So he's going to walk it off.
One into the leg side there by Vian. Be interesting to see Crossie's options here against Cal Clarkson. Probably going for that sweep if it's in this area.
Don't think Ella wants to be there too often to Matthew Cross outside off.
Yeah.
Looking to get on that back foot and cut it away.
Over extra. Inside out shot goes 4 runs. It's a beautiful shot.
Very well played there from Matthew Cross. Again, strong area for him against the spinners as well as the seamers. Beautifully inside out there. Just chipping it over extra cover.
Ball there. Just in the back foot. Cal does really well to get that off his own fielding. His own bowling, sorry.
Wind starting to pick up again, it feels.
Yeah. You can just hear it from our gazebos. Benji over there, 8 off it from Cal Clarkson.
At the moment here, it's keeping up at the rate.
Looks like it'll be Cam Hunter from this end now. He was at the other end before. He's now coming in from the pavilion end. I think with the field spread, this is probably a better idea. He's got the protection he needs. Got third man, cover, long on, long off, and deep square, and cow. It's again standard field. Third comes back into the ring.
Ooh.
That's gone up. That's going good catch
Great
by
catch.
Cal Clarkson. It was not Cal.
That is George
It's
West.
George West. Skipper George West. That's a big wicket.
Taking a great catch there. Almost stumbling back.
Almost stumbling back, correct.
Very big wicket that.
Matthew Cross going for 32 there.
Especially at this stage of the game.
Pretty big wicket. Catching up to the run rate there, just slowing down a touch for the fall of that wicket. Overseas Josh Elliott comes to the crease with skipper of the Emirates.
think that's what they were hoping for when he came on for his first over. Just something like
Yeah.
that. Be able to sneak that third wicket. Not his best delivery, sliding it down the leg side, but
If it takes a wicket, takes a wicket. I'm not
really,
too sure he'll complain too much about that.
not at all. It puts RHC back on top, I think, in this game.
Yeah. Cam Hunter into ball.
Nicely worked. Just a square leg, similar to what I think Matthew Cross was trying to do. Josh Elliott with some more. No run there. Jonathan Zell quickly onto that one.
He's very used to standing up to stumps to seamers. Seems to be a very Scotland thing.
Oh, well, don't know if that says something about the fast bowlers or about the pace on the wicket.
Could be either or, take it whichever way you feel fancy.
A bit of
Slightly
a
fuller
heave-ho.
there. He gets that away for 4.
Oh, a little bit of a heave-ho there from Vion Ritz. But effective, nonetheless. Again, a really good over. Ball number 5 going to the boundary. Probably a risk that Heriot's needed to take.
Yeah, agreed.
Can't afford too many overs going at under 8s.
Much better length there.
Really well bowled. You can see the wicket's probably just drying out a little bit. It's getting a bit hoppy with that bounce. We're going to make it a bit more difficult to bat on as the innings goes on. Alan Clarkson coming in for a second over. Be very interesting to see how Josh Elliott approaches us. He does enjoy a slog sweep.
Double there for Josh Elliott. Slightly short there, and he helps himself to 1. Ooh, well field with the bobble.
Again, with no mid-wicket in play there. Probably from Josh Elliott. Probably could have placed that a bit better to at least get
Mm.
two.
You could probably split our corner and square leg there. But a good little comeback here from the RHC bowlers.
It's been a really strong couple of overs for them since they've got that wicket of Matthew Ross.
Hits that through, cover point. Naylor does the fielding there. RHC just on top here, I reckon, with that wicket of Matthew Cross. Another small rebuilding phase needed for Heriot. A little bit flightier there from Cal Clarkson.
You know, RHC will be happy just with the ones.
4 off it so far. Can you finish off strong? Out to Liam Naylor at cover once again. 1 run, 5 off it. Good over there for RHC.
In that run rate creeping up around 10. Heriot's leaving themselves with a bit of work to do in the last 10 overs. There's going to be a period of 2 to 3 overs where they're going to have to try and match up with someone and take 30 plus
Of course,
to give
yes.
themselves a chance.
Side Aziz on to bowl here. I think Vian might quite like the pace of this. But it's really down to pretty much these two to build a platform for Durness and Ryan to sort of kick on at the back if needed. Sides bowled brilliantly so far in the final. Big wicket of Mark Watt in his first over and only gone for 9 off his 2. Change of ends though for him. Deep cover, third man, square leg. Long on and I assume cow as well. Yeah. Full there and they come through for a single.
I think Aziz will be looking at using a bit of change of pace here as well. He runs his fingers down the side of the ball when he does it.
Well played there by Van. Well bowled as well by Said Aziz. Just another quiet rebuilding phase here for Heriot's with their singles. And as you quite rightly said, there needs to be 2 overs where they really have to kick on. Well fielded by Dishan Rani there at backward point, dot ball. It's hit very hard there by Josh Elliott. Oh, I think it was a no ball.
Yes. 3 hits up.
Free hit for Josh. He'll probably go step onto the off.
Oh.
There we go. But I feel like he's missed out with that. His normal go-to against a free hit is step out onto the offside and try pull it over mid-wicket. He really only pulls out the scoops and the reverse sweeps once he's turned up in 50 over cricket, of course. But I guess with fine leg up in the ring, scoop is not the worst option.
I don't think it was too bad an option. A bit of change of pace there. I think he's just gotten too far across. Definitely was the length for him that he could have used.
Yeah.
Probably a bit upset as well. He missed out on the ball before. Short and wide, hit it straight to the fielder. Plus being a no ball. That almost was a 9-run swing there. What ended up being probably 2 poor deliveries, ended up going for 2 dots.
Yeah. Vian wants the wide. Umpire not wanting it.
Don't think he can afford to be letting balls go at this stage, thinking if you can get wides. 92 needed or 55.
Third man comes up into the ring, mid-off, goes to a long off. We're going to be a bit cooler. Shot. That is big.
Great shot there from Vian Maritz. Just a bit of a flick of the wrist there.
It's an unfortunate finish of the over for Side Aziz. Bowled very well up until then. Oh, it's another no ball. That's another no ball.
Again, I think Vian was lining him up there with the change of field. He knew it was probably going to be a bit fuller. Would have just set himself up there. He's got another go at it now, with that ball being a free hit.
I wonder what the option is here for him. Slower ball. Goes again. Ayush has overrun it. And it's gone for 6 runs.
Well, overrunning didn't play too much of a part.
No, I think it would have gone over his head anyway.
Yeah, just caught maybe a bit of the wind there. So went up. Caught a bit of the wind and then ended up taking it over the rope. Expensive last couple of balls there, and Aziz is over. It's still a little bit behind here, but that over has definitely helped them in their chase of this total of 175. Change in bowling. Ayush Dasmapatra is on. Bowled really well in the first game in the semi-final. 3 for 18 in his 4.
So just switch batters for these days. I don't know how you work. I don't know where the way.
Nice start there from Ayush. Again, hitting a strong length there for the spinners on these wickets. That's into the offside. Helen Clarkson doing the work there. Tidy start here from Ayush. Start there, Vian. Shorter in length there. An opportunity to play that behind square. Possible 2 option here. Now with some good work down there at long off. Good clean start here from Ayush Dasmapatra. 2 dots and 2 singles. One run there. Fielding done there by Aziz.
Tidy over so far from Ayush. Just 3 off it so far.
Now can he close it off?
Low T1.
He's gotten away with a low full toss there.
100 run. Not yet, actually. Harry's 99. Looks like it'll be Cam Hunter. Ball from this end.
I think this isn't over. That's going to have to go. 75, 76 needed, or 48. Yeah, probably got to get 10 plus off this over. This will be one of your matchups, I think. Taking on the young seamer. Very good start there from Cameron Hunter. Leg stump Yorker, digged out. Josh Elliott going for the scoop again. Not quite getting it. Johnny using a good piece of his chest. Single and a dot to start this over. So far, 3 balls in. Cam Hunter has bowled well. Little inside edge there from Via Maritz. They'll trickle through for a single.
So they just came up with adjustment.
Important 2 balls here from Cameron Hunter to close off the over. Get out without conceding a boundary. And he gets a wicket. Superbly bowled. A lot of pressure was building on these two. Couldn't afford not to get a boundary and over at least in these next couple of overs. Very well bowled there from Cameron Hunter, taking out the leg stump. A little bit of movement off the surface. And it beats Josh Elliott between his bat and his pad.
Oh yeah. Okay. Right. Okay.
Looks like James Dickinson's come to the crease. Bit of work to do for this pair now. 73 required, 44. Balls left to play. James Dickinson's been in the runs the last couple of weeks for Heriot in the 50 over league. getting a couple of not outs to see them through their innings. Clips that one away to deep square. Close out the over. Really well bowled there from Cameron Hunter. Superb third over from him. Picking up a wicket and only conceding 4. It's going to take a little special innings here from someone to give Heriot a chance and get them close, if not over the line. Even if Heriots don't get the win today, they'll still be through to the T20 National Finals Day, including RHC. No matter what the result is here, both sides will be finding their way through to those final days. Well, Clarkson sneaking one past the outside edge there. Again, just that slower pace. Just inviting a bit of turn. Down to long on for a single from Dickinson. Brings Moritz back on strike. Moritz playing well, 45 off 30. Got ball there. McMullen doing the fielding. Three balls in, only one scored. A lot of pressure on these batters, going down 70 odd needed off 39. Some good running there from Moritz and Dickinson. Bit of work to have been done there from the fielders on the boundary. Boards and 2 balls here. Another single out to cover sweeper. And then to the over.
Heriot's 107 for 4 after 14 overs, 68 required for them. Just need to up the run rate a touch. Still trailing just a little bit. As you said, Craig, need 1 or 2 sort of big overs here from Vian and Dicko. Looks like Brando's coming on to bowl. You can see here, spinners, as we guess, Ayush and Clarkson doing very, very well. Cam Hunter with 2 big wickets. And then McMullen's side disease were, apart from the side disease last over, he was pretty good, his first 2. I think probably the right choice to give Brando the over. I think 1 wicket here would be potentially game for RHC.
I think they've picked up that these next 2 overs are going to be deciding factor on how this game might go into these last few overs. So why not put your most experienced bowler in? He's got 2 overs to spare. Just see if you can keep another over quite tight, maybe pick up a wicket, and then again puts the game into your favour a bit more.
Brandon McMullen to Vian Moritz. Very full there. He sort of swiped that through the offside for 4 runs.
Again, very interesting field set.
52 up for Vian. Proper captain's knock. Still not done yet. Needs to take his team over the line.
Yeah, he's batted really well here. Again, a very open offside field for McMullen. Deep point, and then just an extra cover only. Going with the wide Yorker. Not too sure if he's got these angles right.
Yeah, it would have been a wide as well, I reckon, if he had left it. But helps himself to 4 either way.
Yeah, it's been a strong innings here from the captain. Gonna have to probably be there towards the end if the side's gonna have a chance.
Yeah, he needs to carry his bat. Full toss there from Vian. It's another 4 runs.
Again, not quite getting it right there. And Vian helping himself to a free delivery.
Slightly sloppy from Branto, not sort of what you would expect. I guess it is part of the risks with going with the Yorker plan is sometimes you are just going to miss.
Again, yeah, I just don't think the field set's been right though. Well, these first 2 balls, that's a bit better now, I think, in terms of the angles. Yes, and then that just makes him have to hit it somewhere else. I think the field was way too square for what he was looking to do. Doesn't quite have the pace for it to slide off towards behind square.
Same field for James Dickinson. It's sort of a deep point, deep cover. You got long on. Cow. Those are your 4 out. 5 out. Long off. Goes wide Yorker again. Dishan just goes over it. Really good running to come back for 2. Dishan will be a little bit disappointed with that, but he stopped the 4, which is the important thing.
Well bowled there from McMullen.
And they'll come through for a single. All the ring fielders very, very deep, which allows that single to be taken. As you said, very well bowled, executes his plan pretty much spot on there. But still managed to scamper through for 1 with the ring fielders sitting so deep.
12 already off the over.
Sort of falling away to the offside there. But he manages to flick it through to Ayush at mid-wicket for 1.
13 off that. Brings Heriot's a little bit more back into the game. 55 needed. 5 overs left.
See the batting here. Matthew Cross and Vian Moritz really stepping up there with almost 90 of the 120 runs so far. Vian going at a good pace. Dicko doing what he needs to do, just rotating the strike. Pretty much what Dishan did in semi-final 1.
I think it's been a different situation. I don't know if they're in a position where rotational strike's going to be as important now going into these last 5.
Agreed.
They're going to need 2 boundaries and over here. Give themselves some touching distance. Be interesting to see how they'd look at attacking Ayush here.
Bit of flight there from Ayush. Vian's options tend to be sort of straight to leg side. I'd be very surprised if we do see like an in-to-out over cover. So that's not really a shot he's got in the locker. One to deep cover there for Vian. Dicko obviously very good on the sweep shot. Leg spinner to leg spinner. Interesting to see how this battle plays out. Short there, helps himself.
Hasn't quite got it as well as he'd like, I think. Just probably find you need that ball to try and you need to get that ball away for a boundary.
Yeah.
Slightly short.
So what John did very well against Dicko actually. Those short balls piercing the two fielders out deep there.
Yeah, it's a great shot. Great piece of fielding.
Great fielding by there, Tyler Stagg. Just comes through for a one.
Excellent service back into the keeper. Top bit of fielding.
Really helping out the bowler there. Does well, even though he doesn't pick it up cleanly, he manages to stop the boundary, which is the important thing. There's a sweep shot we see from Dicko. Slightly better aimed in the middle of the two fielders. Slight misfield there from Tyler Stagg, allows the two, but recovers well. Good throw back into John Van Zyl. Yeah, looks very tired.
I think this needs to be a boundary ball.
Where's the boundary come from for Dicko? That's really well bowled by Ayush.
Very well bowled to get out the over. Slowed it right up. Gave him nothing to work with. Excellent over there from Ayush. Bowled really well in his two.
6 off it for Ayush. You can have a look there. Spinner's really leading the way with Clarkson and Ayush just going at 5s. Seamer's taking the wickets though. Be interesting to see if they bowl Brando out. I don't think they will. They'd probably save him for the back end here.
It's very interesting going with Dicko at that stage when they were that far behind the game. Probably find you want to take a little bit more of the risk.
Ryan Brown, Durness.
Ryan Brown or Durness, try and see if you can take 20, 30 off the overs between sort of 13 and 16.
Tyler Stagg on to bowl now, going at 11, so a touch expensive. Matthew Cross took quite the liking to him.
Especially because, you know, you got, how many overs we got left of spin? We've got
3
overs left to spin. That's sort of Ryan Brown's bread and butter, that.
Yeah.
But just, again, I think you're just wanting some of your best boundary hitters to try and have as many balls as possible. They're both still strong between the wickets as well. Just don't think you can afford to have anyone going at a run a ball or less than a run a ball at this stage.
We're at 60 off 39. James Dickinson 9 off 9. 49 runs needed for the last 24 balls. High on the bat. That was going straight up to Brandon McMullen. He's not dropping that.
Very well done there, Brian Tyler. So again, hitting that harder length, making it difficult for the batters to hit through the line. And probably no safer man in the team to have that catch go to.
Expect to see probably Ryan Brown coming out here. He's played a good few knocks for Heriot this season and for Cali in the regionals.
Looks like it is Ryan Brown.
Well bowled there by Stagg, hitting a hard length, as he said, forcing that sort of top edge off James Dickinson. And as you rightly mentioned, no safer pair of hands in the team. Ryan Brown heading out towards the crease. Had an unbelievable first outing in the regional series for Cali. 62 runs off 35 balls at a strike rate of 177.
Opened the batting there as well.
Opened the batting there as well, yeah. Coming just off 35 balls, 5 sixes and 3 fours. Long levers can hit a long ball. Probably would have preferred spin, I reckon, than the pace of Stag, but not got in trouble. Leg side is protected on the rope. Long on, cow, deep square. Full. That was in the arc.
I don't see Ryan Brown having a few starters here. He knows what he needs to do.
From ball one.
Getting nearly 12 and over here. Can't afford to not try and find a few boundaries early on and over.
At the same stage, RHC were 151 for 5. Heriot require 13 and over here. There we go.
It's a great shot.
Gone.
Again, Stag just getting full of a length there. And as we've seen throughout the day, that length gets dispatched over the boundary.
That's a great. That is the Ryan Brown shot. In this arc is going to go over cow corner. Very bottom-handed dominant for that back face to come through. With as clean connection as that, not many boundaries in, at least in Scotland, are going to be long enough. That'll be what he needs to get his innings up and running here. 43 off 21.
Nicely bowled there from Stag. A little bit wider outside of his reach.
Attempted Yorker there, much fuller. And just away from the arc of Ryan Brown. Smart bowling.
Again, down to those 2 balls. So vital, these 2 balls, and
Yeah.
how the over plays out and how they take momentum into the next over.
Well bowled again by Stag. I want to say probably over cover. I don't know if he's got that shot in the slot. I'm not actually too sure. He's shadowing that shot.
I think that one was a little bit more hittable than the previous one that was there.
Yeah. Change of pace now, you reckon? Because you know he's going to swing.
Yeah, I think it just depends on what Tyler's going to back himself to do. Same thing. It's been working.
Let's see. He's in the arc. One bounce 4.
Again, he's gone with the same plan, hasn't quite got it this time, and Ryan Brown's just got it away in front of cover sweeper there.
Almost like a wide Yorker plan. Just out the arc, steps across to offside. Any bat on it, one-handed almost. Any bat on it's going to go for 4.
Yeah, Ryan Brown doesn't need too much bat to hit the ball for it to
Yeah.
travel, so he's just got to get something on that, and it's probably going to go away to the boundary.
Could we see a repeat of the infamous Cal Clarkson over?
It'll be interesting to see what Fionn does here. If I was him, I'd probably just try and get Ryan Brown on strike. This is a very
Agreed.
good matchup for him.
Agreed.
Unless it's one of those balls that are very hittable for Fionn. I think you've got to just get Ryan on strike here and let him try and take down this matchup.
39 required of the last 3 overs. Long off, long on, in cow corner, square leg. And deep cow.
Great piece of
Excellent
fielding.
stop by Brandon McMullen.
Saving at least 2 there.
This is the matchup we're here for, though. Ryan Brown, Kyle Clarkson. Does he come down the wicket? Does he step onto offside?
I think anything in his arc could step it.
Gone.
I said anything near his arc, step it. And that's 6 more for Ryan Brown.
That wasn't fully in the slot either. It was just short of a slot delivery, but manages to get that underneath it, waits for it to turn, helps himself. Swings from the hips. It'd be interesting to hear what Brando's saying to Cal Clarkson now. Because you know Ryan Brown's going to go pretty much one way.
Yeah, he's going to go ball by ball.
As you can see here, it's 1 of 2. So interesting. It will be interesting to see how Cal tries and negates that.
I was kind of maybe trying to fire it in at his feet.
Yeah.
Try and make it as difficult for him to get under it.
In the arc, over Dishan Rani at point. It spins away. Goes for 4 runs. You can hear the cheers of the Heriot's fans and players behind. Ryan Brown is in the zone. He's not a big talker in these situations. I've been in one of these before and doesn't like to chat.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago at Grange, he was in a similar situation, needing quite a few, if not many. And he got a really good innings there of 60. Struck the ball well, but again, yeah, not too much being said from him. Well bowled there from Callum.
Much better, potentially 2.
Excellent beat of fielding there from Ayush, keeping that down to 1.
12 off the over so far. Final 2 balls are mega. 27 required of 14. Run rate just dropping a little bit from 13.5 to 11.5. It'll be interesting to see what Vian does here. Does he go for the glory shot? Does he get a single, get Bruni on strike for the last ball?
I think he got 2 free hits here.
2 free hits.
For me, I think if he gets two boundaries here, it pretty much changes the game. And then you got Ryan Brown on the far side.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't get it, you've still got an opportunity to try and run those 2s, get back on the other end.
A reverse sweep would be the option here. But I don't know if he's got it. Fine paddle, reverse paddle. And they come back for 2.
Gets us 2.
150 up for Heriot, 17.5. This is pretty much a free hit now, isn't it?
Yep.
Swing for the heavens.
I think he might go again.
With the reverse?
No, well bowled. Pretty good. Great piece of fielding there from Brandon. Oh, and they're back for 2.
16 off that Clarkson over. 23 required off the final 2 overs. 23 off 12 required.
Used to bowl it. They've got 3 seamers left with an over. And they've got Ayush with 2 overs left.
I think this over has to be Brando.
Looks like it is. His hat's coming off.
He is your strike bowler here. He'll bowl this one, probably side as he's on the last, depending on how many are needed. Going at good 7s. 1 for 23 off his 3 so far. This is the big over, 23 required. I think from an RHC point of view, what would you be happy with this over, realistically?
I think if you can leave 15 for the last, 12, 15 for the last.
So 8 to 10 off this over and you're happy.
I think anything under 10 off this over and you are ecstatic.
Yeah. They've got almost 2 deep points here for Ryan Brown, so you know exclusively it's going to be wide Yorkers.
Very much so.
Long off, long on. And probably a cow corner as well, I think, yeah.
straight mid off, long on, long off.
He gets that. It's in the gap. Spin. Oh, does well. Just the one. Good bowling to your field there by Brandon McMullen.
I wonder if they'll go same field for Vion. Looks like it.
Yeah. As a bat, how would you try negate if someone's going a wide Yorker? Would you try to do like a almost like a reverse? To get any bat on it to get it over short third?
I think with the field set, you probably just try and set yourself up. I don't think you try and do anything different. You've got a big gap through the offside. Very good fielding from Kamanta. I think with the gap you have between long off and pretty much covers, well, deep point in a way.
Yeah.
You probably try and keep that room and just try and access through this offside here.
Would you step more onto off to get underneath it? Because I think from the position you're in, it's quite hard to get underneath it when he's executing. That's excellent fielding out there by Tyler Stagg. And they come through for a second.
Oh, and John has somersaulted over Ryan Brown there for a 2.
So would that be an option? Step off onto the off, step, I guess,
I
onto off.
I wouldn't go too far outside off. I'd probably try and get myself onto off stump.
Almost takes him out.
Because I think if you go too far off, Brandon's got the opportunity just to go straight, and he's got his leg side field.
Yeah. But I think anything behind square is 4. If you get any bat on it. Shot.
And that's 4 runs. Really well played.
That's sort of what I was either there where you can sweep
Yes.
it, or if he goes wider, you can then access over extra cover.
Again, I think he just gets onto just outside off stump, yeah, and he's fetched it. That's a pretty good shot, I think.
Yeah.
He's had to really find a way to get that in front of deep mid wicket.
He's got an extra long handle bat and very long arms, so
I think if you're the bowler, you don't mind if that's gone over square.
Yeah.
So well played to the batter. I think Brando's quite happy with if he's trying to do that.
That's the one again. Move out onto the off. If he does go wider there and almost follows you, you can access over extra.
It's almost like, what's the better option here? Is it better trying to take some pace off? Trying to bump him?
Could be.
Give him something he's not expecting.
Yeah, you don't really have... It almost would have to be like a double bluff, because is Brandon quick enough to trouble...
It can be deceptive, especially if you're not expecting it.
I was thinking more slower ball would be the way to go. That is top edge, going to skip away 4 runs.
Boundary.
Ryan Brown, 36 off 13 with a staggering strike rate of 276.9. 7 required off the last, Craig.
And he's done exceptionally well since coming in. Pretty much doing exactly what I think his team was requiring from him.
Who do you give it to here? As the ex-RHC coach, I don't know if I'm allowed to ask this, but who would you give this to?
7 off 6.
Yeah. It can't be Brando, of course.
I think you've got to give it to Aziz, but they've gone with Stagg.
Yeah.
I would have gone with Aziz, just mainly because I think he's got a better change of pace.
Yeah.
I think Stagg looks to go pretty full and straight as his option. I think Aziz probably misses a little bit less. But also because he's got that change of pace, it might be a bit more deceptive, a bit more difficult. But we'll see how we get on here. 7 off 6, it's in Heriot's hands now. After a superb innings from Ryan Brown here. And Vion Maritz just doing exactly what was required of him and playing all the way through to the end.
Surely the option has to be take the single, get the strike to Ryan Brown. He's hit it over.
He's headed for 6.
6 runs over long off. That is a monstrous shot from Vian Moritz. Probably touch too full there from Tyler Stagg.
He was going to go full and straight, and I think Vian knew that. So
Yeah.
he's lined him up, and he said, if it's anywhere, if he's missing anywhere, I'm going to go.
That's
And he's done that.
Unbelievable shot. We'll see on the replay here. Ayush, really not much you could do about that. He's an excellent athletic fielder, and if it's going over his jump, it's going over a lot of people's jumps. That is Vian's area. He loves hitting it straight. He gets underneath it. Bringing the field in. Really all you can do. Cow stays out.
1 required.
Tyler Stagg into bowl. And Vian Moritz crashes it through the covers. 4-4. He finishes on 76 off 45. That is an unbelievable captain's innings there from Vian Moritz. Ryan Brown helping him there with 36 off 13. Brings up the 50-run partnership between the two.
An absolute excellent stint there from the captain. That's what you're wanting in these sort of games. Someone like your captain to step up and play in innings like that. But I must say, I probably have to hand it to Ryan Brown. I don't think they get to that point if it wasn't for him in these last 2 overs.
Agreed.
You played an absolute stellar innings coming in. 36 off 13. You probably take a ball or 2 of that. And it's actually an unbelievable innings. I'm stunned.
Heriot's retained the Masterton Trophy for 2026. Both these teams will meet each other, probably not, maybe not meet each other again, but they'll be there at T20 Finals Day, August the 16th at Stirling County Cricket Club. What an unbelievable finish here at Goldenacre. Another thriller between these two sides. Captain Vian Moritz leading the way for Heriot's with Ryan Brown's stellar 36 off 13.
A fantastic final yet again. As we said, it was going to come down to the battle of the batting orders. And in the end, if you look at it, as much as RHC had the best of the first half of the innings, Heriot's were absolutely outstanding in those last 5-6 overs. Almost down and out, needing 13 and over for about the last 4 or 5. Stellar innings from Ryan Brown to get them through to get, what, 15 off the last?
Pretty much. He got 32 off the 18th and 19th over, went for 32 combined.
There's the change of the game. I think RHC probably going to look back at how they went about the middle of their innings.
Yeah.
Probably again looking at 15, 20 short at least from where they were. But in the end,
Vian meeting his wife. They're expecting a child fairly soon as well. So massive congratulations to them. I'm not sure Stagg was the right option for that last over.
yeah, I just think someone would maybe somebody take some pace off, run in sort of needing 7 off 6. What's going to give you the best option for them? Not trying to hit a boundary, maybe a bit of pace off there. But in the end, once it got down to 7 off 6, it was going to be very difficult for RHC to climb over the line there. I think it came down to how overs 18 and 19 went, and unfortunately that for RHC that went in Heriot's favour. Probably could relook at the bowling plans maybe, but I think the definite change was probably Ryan Brown coming in and doing what he did. That really changed the game here.
Agreed, and that is what Ryan Brown does. Thank you everyone for tuning in today at the gorgeous Goldenacre in the sun. That is the end of our stream. Craig, thank you very much for commentating alongside me today for our semi-final 1 and finals.
Thanks very much, Khalik. It's been great being here. And what a great day we've had out here at Heriot's. Superb semi-finals, and then what an excellent final to finish us off in the day.
Thank you very much, everyone.